You're listening to The Hoop Journey, a podcast that looks to share the stories of basketball players from all journeys and walks of life. My name is Lucas Battisti, and I'm sitting down with other hoopers to talk about the lessons they learned, their journeys, and how their experiences on the hardwood taught them bigger life lessons off the court. So sit down and relax as we talk hoops and more. Yo, we're here for the very first podcast of The Hoop Journey. I'm here with my coach and someone who I have a lot of respect for, Coach Belt. Say what's up, Coach.
What's up, peoples? Appreciate you for having me on the set, Lucas. Appreciate you.
For sure. So just want to give a little background of yourself before we get into it.
Yeah, Coach Belt, man, been coaching, man, 10 plus years. Played at Coppin State, then ended up transferring to Morris College, where I graduated there, broke all records there, and ended up signing to a Division II school in Pennsylvania called Keystone College. Played there for a little bit, did 2 years there, graduated from there as well. Small stint overseas on a tour team. Didn't really care for that type of system that they had for the tour team, but definitely experience that I needed. From there, man, like I said, been coaching for 10 plus years. Started off really in the mental health game. For those that don't know what mental health game is, it's really working with the mind. So most of my kids that I started off with were like adolescents, high crime youth, in trouble in school, house arrest, robbery, murders, rape, and a lot of kids that I dealt with going into learning how to coach. So it kind of prepared me for all aspects of coaching world, which makes it easier for me to adapt to the kids nowadays because, I mean, it's more mental, but I'm dealing with guys that want to succeed in the game of basketball opposed to guys that just trying to succeed in life and just don't want to be incarcerated, don't end up dead like some of their siblings or some of their role models. So I enjoy what I do. I got a lot of passion behind it, and it's just a beginning for me, really.
I like it. I love it. I feel like it's bigger than basketball.
Say again, Coach. Say again, Luke.
I said a lot of it. I feel like it's bigger than basketball.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It definitely is. You know, not everybody's gonna have the opportunity to go NBA nor make money from it.
Yeah.
But at the same token, what you put into it is what you get out of it. So, doesn't mean you're not going to be a good coach. Doesn't mean you're not going to be a good agent. Whatever it is. It's like, hey, what you're doing right now with the podcasting, you starting a whole wave for a lot of prep school kids or post-grad kids that's trying to come from internationally to the States. They're going to live their life through you and experience it through you. Which pretty much is a good thing, man, because like I said, you setting that pavement and setting the pace for those guys now. So I definitely recommend the podcast, and I'm excited for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The first kind of point I wanted to talk about was at Moravian Prep. I feel like it's almost like a full-time job as a coach because I have this idea that some people think, you just come in, you coach, and you go home. But I remember you said something before. You said, in some ways, we're a team, but a lot of the ways, we're a family because we always live with each other. So,
right.
I know, how do you define your role as a coach, given the unique circumstances you have living with a team?
Let's say it's a gift and a curse, man. I can say it's always one of them things where, you get worn out, you get stressed thin, and you kind of want to, oh, man, I ain't doing this next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the next year come around, and you kind of enjoy the process. You kind of, I love living with the guys. Obviously, I'm getting older, so at some point, I'll have to branch out on my own. But I can say that I love the environment that we do bring with that, and I love the fact that most of my coaches do live with their kids because we're again, it's bigger than basketball, so we're not just chimed in with them when they come to the gym. We're dealing with work ethic, cleaning up, how you communicate with the peers. If you're lazy off the court, you're probably gonna be lazy on the court. You know what I mean? Things like that we get to see that most coaches don't, because when a coach, once practice is over, the coach goes to his family, that kid goes to his family, and they won't see him again to the next practice where, we're more locked in with you guys all the way, from what you eat to how you sleep to when you wake up. Like, it's different, man. So it's more definitely a brotherhood before anything. But I'll say this, man, like, our job is coaching, man. It's not full time. It's past full time.
Yeah.
Full time is 8-hour shift, maybe a little bit of overtime here and there. 40 hours out the week. But dude, this is like, I'm probably working about 17 hours a day.
Yeah, that's easily. Crazy. Yeah.
Because you gotta think, I'm waking up at, well, we ain't hell month right now. So
yeah, that's true.
When it was hell month, we're waking up at 4:45.
Yeah.
But right now we're waking up at 8:00. And then my day necessarily is not really over until I guess I can let my hair down once dinner is here. But at the end of the day, my job is still open, because anything can happen in between 8:30 and the next day. So I'm always on call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's never a moment where I'm just like, I feel like I clocked out. I don't never feel like I clocked out, to be honest with you. I'm always on the job, because whether or not you guys see it, parents call me and text me, I still got to handle that. So I say to those guys that's thinking about coaching, man, just know, man, that it ain't a 9 to 5, man. This is a all around the clock type of job, man. If you really invested in it,
I get you. Oh, like, do you find it hard to balance, like, a personal life off the court?
Do I find it harder to balance?
Yeah.
Balance what?
Like your life off the court, like a personal life. Like how do you? Yeah.
Yeah and no. In the beginning, when I first started this coaching journey, man, I was married, and at that time, like, she supported the coaching world, but she didn't understand the coaching world. Neither did I, because I was still growing within it. So, I'll say this, man, like, it's not hard to balance my personal life now, is because I'm pretty much open to whoever I'm dealing with. I'm open to the coaching world. Like, I'm sure I'm explaining to her again how I explained to you that this is not a 9 to 5. This is around the clock.
Yeah.
So it takes a special person to date a coach.
Yeah.
Because they have to understand that, you're getting pulled, different ways from different kids in different directions, and then she's on the other end, encouraging you and supporting you. So it's just a different aspect. But I feel like the more open you are with your spouse or your mate prior to you even getting into a relationship with them, would determine whether or not they're prepared to date a coach. So I would say, like, my life hasn't really changed, and it's not really hard to balance, because I got a good support system with my lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that makes sense?
Yeah.
She understands this coaching game. She understands that it's going to be times I won't be able to talk all the time. It's going to be times where, I might be mentally challenged or mentally bothered, and she understands that. So, like I said, it's all about your mate. It's all about, the person you decide you choose to be with, and if she's understandable to the whole coaching aspect, you know, so.
Like I can tell you as a player, I know the sacrifices, but you don't think as a coach.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the sacrifice of me, listen, I've been living by myself in my own place for a while now, to the point where I am used to it. So to have to backtrack and live with 24 kids, you know what I mean? It's like I say, it's a blessing and a curse. I ain't complaining, because I still get to see you guys grow and mature, and I think that's more of a satisfaction to me than wins and losses. So,
sure.
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you.
I understand. To touch on the point you said before, you said if you're lazy on the court, you'll be lazy off the court. I remember you say this point a lot. You say basketball is the only sport that has a direct effect off the court. How does basketball translate to the real world?
So, basketball probably will be the only sport that you're able to, that you can incorporate real world principles in it. Like, most sports are one-on-one based, or the guys that the breadwinners or the main guys only get the clout when you got a whole bunch of other guys that's working too behind scenes. Boxing, same thing. Tennis, one man sport. You know, you might have two. Golf, one man sport. You know, you on a team, but it's one man sport. Football, you know, quarterbacks, runner backs, wide receivers, maybe a linebacker here and there on defense or a strong safety, but you still neglect that you got 50 some other guys on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I understand. Yeah.
Basketball is probably the only sport that relates to the corporate world. So, you know, you have a team, you have employees. You know what I'm saying? You have a team in a workplace. You know, you have teammates. Those are your colleagues. Those are your employees. You know, you have a captain. That's your supervisor. You know, your captain has a boss, which is the coach. He's your director, or however you want to call it, CEO. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So you guys are all working for the common goal, and you can't do it with one man. You have to have a collective team effort in order to succeed. And the same way the captain is the supervisor, he's the chain of command. He's the voice for the coach. So just like my boss, if I was the boss or a director of something, and I tell my supervisor, the supervisor is a direct contact for me. Yep. So same thing on the basketball, and the captain is a direct reflection of me. So he's the one that's going to be that voice and that coach on the floor, because I can't get on the floor. I only can coach from the sideline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say basketball is probably the best sport that you can create real world life lessons in it, man, outside of all other sports.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking at your Instagram, and I was looking at your brand, Against All Odds. Like, what does that mean, and what are you trying to represent through that?
So originally the company started Against All Odds. I'm going on my, I'm probably going on my ninth year of Against All Odds. It's really a branding company, a marketing and branding company. Because I trained and stuff like that prior to all this, it kind of I didn't venture away from what Against All Odds meant, but you know, it's self-explanatory. You know what I mean? You know, typically as us black men, you know, us men, period, you know, we are always against the grain, you know, and we always got the odds stacked against us. Yeah. If you notice, you got more women in the workplace than anything, where you have more men higher ups, but you got more women in the workplace, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So you got more men that's CEOs and big bosses, but them employees, them small timers underneath them, it's a lot of women there that's taking jobs for us. So even as men, we already got the odds stacked against us. Us as black men, you know, we're really different at a crutch where we have odds stacked up against us. So that's how I kind of came up with the Against All Odds. We're more of a branding company, and the reason I went branding wise is because I want to be a sports agent. Yep. So I feel like if I start being able to work on my marketing skills and branding skills now, by the time I am a certified sports agent, it wouldn't be hard for me to sell anybody. Yep. So that's really what it is. You know, I can take the last man on the bench. I can take the water boy and market him. You know, I can have him tying up his sneakers, pouring the water into the cups, giving it out, you know, selling him on what he does best.
Yep.
And that's what Against All Odds is about, man. It's about marketing. It has nothing to do with just sports. It can be anything. If you plant flowers, then I'll get you putting on your outfits for your flowers, getting your equipment ready. I'll get you breaking up the soil, digging up, putting the flower in there, putting the soil. Like I'll have a video, like a highlight tape of you planting flowers and what your company is about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's a marketing too. So that's all it's about, man. It's a branding and marketing company that hopefully will spin off an umbrella into my agency.
Yeah. So you, pretty much in a way, like basketball, it's a pathway to other things. Is that right?
Correct. So that's all it is, man. I've been using basketball, man. And I wouldn't say I've been using basketball. I would say basketball has took me places that I probably would never imagine, man. And the fact of the matter is, it still continue to take me places. I ain't playing the game no more physically outside when I go out there and hoop, but for as it's still paying bills, I'm still building relationships, I'm still able to network. It's not a job for me. Like it's everything I could ask for, if not more. You know what I'm saying? Because I've clocked in a 9 to 5. I've worked a job that I really can care less about, and that's tough. So for me now to have to go back to working a 9 to 5 after touching this basketball community for the last 10 plus years, it'll be hard for me to go back to a 9 to 5, to be honest with you, man.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize the relationship basketball has with education too. Because I know you tell us a lot, the day you stop learning is the day you die.
Correct.
Do you care to elaborate on that point?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, like you said it best, man. The day you stop learning is the day you die. So it's you always will be learning something new every day. Like, and you should thrive to learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And that's what separates you, from that person that's closed-minded to you being open-minded. That small little bit of openness to your mind might separate you from the next person, because you might not been through that situation, but because you learned from someone else's, you are able to identify to it. So, like I'm always a stickler like that, man. And, I always pride myself on learning something new every day, because again, like I said, I want to learn. It's a difference from, I seek to learn new things. I seek, when I was younger, I always thought I knew it all.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I always thought I knew it all, and that was just a part of being a teenager and stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I don't know enough. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can. Put me in situations where I can learn. Put me in situations where I can fail, because failing is a part of learning. You know what I'm saying? That's why we always say you win some and you learn some. Never you win and you lose some, because you never lose. You will always get the chance to retake those tests again.
Yeah.
But like I said, you win some and you lose some. So, you learn some. So every time we lose, a losing experience is a life learning experience, not a loss. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on, you can always keep learning, and the day you die is when you stop learning.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like you had both perspectives as a player and as a coach. Has your view of the game changed as you transitioned away from a player to a coach?
It's hard. It's hard, Lucas, because I still get out there. At 38, I'm still able to produce. I'm still able to play with 19-year-olds. By God's grace, but it's kind of hard, man, because I knew as a player how I was growing up, but I also have to realize the generation that's here now is totally different than the generation that I was when I was coming up. Again, it's like I said, when I was coming up, we didn't have YouTube and Google and all these different resources to trainers and stuff like that. We didn't have that, where you guys do have that. But like I said, now that I'm starting to realize more and learn more about your generation, is because you have all these different resources and you have access to it, doesn't mean that you're going to use it effectively. It kind of means like it's overwhelming for your generation. So you got Twitter, Facebook, Snap, Instagram, TikTok, I don't know half of the other ones, but you got all these different platforms outside of YouTube, Google. You got all these different platforms that you can't. It's like a computer. Your brains are overloaded, and now, like a computer, when your computer overloads, the first thing it does is shut down or get slow. So that's what's happening with this generation of hoopers, man. And I'm realizing, I feel like if this generation of hoopers was to say sacrifice, if they was to sacrifice social media for the basketball season, just say, hey, what I'm going to do? I'm going to sacrifice social media for basketball season. I feel like they'd be two different mindsets. Now, the beauty of it is, when I was when I was coming up, we didn't have the Twitter and stuff, so I couldn't reach out to a coach and know that he's seen my message and talk to him like that. It was all email, and you can't tell whether the coach checked the email or not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the beauty of the Twitter, is that you guys are building a relationship with these coaches outside of a head coach reaching out. You guys are able to, and it's a curse too, because they can also jump on your page and say, "Hey, I don't like what he's talking about right now," so you have to cut him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's the catch-22, man. But I love the platform you guys have. I just wish you guys control it better. I don't think you guys control it that well, because it's so much easy access to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you was to use social media for what it really was worth, I think we'd be okay. But I think your generation is so people please driven.
Yeah.
That they lose sight of really what Twitter, what social media is designed for. And I think that's everybody. All of those at this moment are out for likes and that attention that they might be looking for.
I remember you saying there was a preseason camp and someone got up to train with you, but they brought a cameraman and you sent them home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling us that.
Yeah, I had a kid. He can play. He was pretty good, man. But he was a recruit. He came to play, whatever, and he had a cameraman show up. You know what I mean, to work him out, and that's just something I didn't need. I don't need no Hollywood guys, man. Just like I tell y'all, like if you're talking to mixtape guys prior to your game, then I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at this moment you're not playing for the team; you're starting to play for self.
Yeah.
Because you got the cameras on you, and that's not really how the game is played, and that's not how it's going to get you to the next level as well. Yeah. So, but that's a little bit of the old school in me having to try to adapt to the new school.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So, like, your legacy as a coach, like, I remember you telling me, like, you still have, like, relationships with players you coached 5 years ago. How would your legacy as a coach, like, how would you like to be remembered?
Oh, man, that's a good question, Lucas. I mean, man, we need to go further back than 5, man. I got kids that I've coached that now has families. You know what I'm saying? Like husband, wife. So I would say, man, I still chit-chat with my kids that I started when I started coaching this 10 plus year coaching journey. I still talk to my kids now to this day within them 10 years frame. So I would say my legacy, man. I want to be remembered as a coach that had a straight passion for the game itself, and really was concerned about making a difference in the child's life, and not about basketball. I mean, yes, basketball was what connected us, but at the end of the day, I wanted my legacy to be on, like, Coach had my best interest at heart. And it didn't matter whether I played basketball or whether I played the flute. You know what I'm saying? Coach Belt was always a supporter. Coach Belt always, had positive reinforcement. But Coach Belt was a no-nonsense guy. He didn't play. He didn't have a problem checking you, and he didn't have a problem speaking his mind. Yeah. And I think that's really all it boils down to. I don't really take no credit, man, for getting kids in school and things of that nature. Like, that's not me, because I know that when it's all said and done, it takes a village of coaches to get kids in school. Just like it takes a village of men to raise a kid, a son or a young boy. It takes a village of coaches to get kids in school. So, that's all God's design. When offers and stuff like that come, that has nothing to do with me. That's all out of my hands. I just tell the coaches, what I know best, and I'm always a straight shooter. It's up to them to say whether or not they want to take you or not, and I think that's solely based off of God blessing you. Because everybody don't get that opportunity. You know what I mean? So I think if you had, that's it, man. Said and done, man. Just want to be a coach that got passion, kept it real. Didn't sugarcoat anything, and loved everybody from the last man to the first man on the bench.
Yeah, for sure. You're probably one of, like, the most straightforward coaches I ever had. And I feel like as a player, that made me grow a lot more, like on and off the court.
Right.
So, yeah. So, diving a little bit into your basketball background and journey. So, I understand that you went to junior college and then you transferred over to a Division II school.
Correct.
So, what type of degrees and education did you get from going to two different schools? Because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you can get 2 degrees from going to junior college than to a normal 4-year.
Yeah. So the crazy part was, I was in the 4 years at that time, and I ran into one of my old coaches that I looked up to, and he told me about JUCO. I didn't know nothing about JUCO. It was all like when I was in high school, it was like 4-year college or done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't know nothing about the JUCO world. So when he told me about it, he said, man, it ain't a bad thing. Don't let people, knock JUCO. JUCO ain't a bad thing. Yeah. And then he explained to me, he said, well, if you think about it, you're going to do 4 to 5 years average anyway at a 4-year institute. So you might as well break it up and do 2 years here, get your associates, and then do your other 2 at this school, and you'll come out with 2 degrees instead of 1. It made sense. I took that route, the JUCO route. I ended up getting my associates in business administrations. Then I moved on to the Division II school, and I finished with my bachelor's in sports recreation and management. The game itself, I played the game all the way through, and that's what got me my 2 degrees. I don't think I was able to be a regular student. I am now because I'm more disciplined now, but back then, I didn't see me as being a regular student. Some sports or some type of extracurricular activity had to be involved for me to be entertained by school. And that's how it always been from 9th to 12th grade in high school. But I did play sports, so that always was what kept me driven in the game in high school. But, I'm happy with my 2 degrees. I plan on going to, get my master's in the future. But yeah, man, definitely a good platform. I wouldn't knock JUCO to nobody. I recommend JUCO to most of my kids that needs it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. How did you transition into playing professional / semi-professional basketball? Like, how did that opportunity come about? Yeah.
So what happened was after my senior year of high school, my senior year of college, I had game film, but I couldn't get no game film because me and that coach had got into it. So he pretty much railroaded me in the second half of the season. I went from a starter to averaging 16 points to minutes just decreasing by the game. I finished my senior year with like 10 points a game and maybe some small time numbers because my numbers were going down because he wasn't playing me.
Yeah.
But so, when it's all said and done, I ended up going on a tour team. So the tour team what happens is it's almost like pay to play. You sign up. I had an agent at the time, so that my agent fronted the bill. You sign up, it's about $500, and it doesn't kill your airfare, but you would sign up, say Australia is the tour team.
Yeah.
So I'll pay $500 plus my flight. I will go to Australia. I will meet up with the coordinator who's throwing it. Whatever the club team is throwing it out, Australia might throw it. So we'll all get on that team, and then we will travel to different segments of Australia and different club teams and play them with the notion of trying to earn a spot on one of the Australian club teams.
Yep.
So most of it is a money game because they only can take 2 Americans, first of all. They only can take 2 Americans on the international team. Yeah. So if they already have American on there already. So they're trying to do things as how to get you to marry within the country and stuff like that to get you on board. And I just wasn't going to take that route, man. And once I realized the political side of it too early, which I think would hurt my career, is me understanding the politics at an early age.
Yeah.
And because I understood the politics at an early age, I never put myself in a position to fail.
Yeah, I get
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also never put myself in a position to learn because, again, failure is learning. So I always was trying to direct my traffic to the things where it was best for me. And what was best for me would have been getting thrown into the fire and going overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand.
But I ended up going to the Dominican Republic, and I just didn't have the good experience doing that, man. And I'm not knocking the DR. I just didn't have a good experience on my tour team that year.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could go to the States and struggle. So that's what I did, man. I was engaged at the time too, so that had a lot to do with it. But I came back to the States, man, and I never looked twice on going overseas. That's just what it was.
Yeah. Did like you think the politics early kind of like ruin your love for the game a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that affect your like view of the game? Understanding the politics behind it.
So I wish I never learned them, to be honest with you. Until now, I'm older. I'm a coach now. I can play the politic game, but then I wish I never learned. I wish I just would continue to stay an athlete and just play the game blindly. I would have had a better career that way. But I understood the politics. So I will give you an example. I was a 5'11", 6 foot scoring point guard.
Yeah.
Right. But I didn't play above the rim. But I will go to a camp and it will be a 6'5" point guard there that didn't shoot it better than me, didn't handle it better than me, didn't run a team better than me, but he can play above the rim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and he was way more athletic and he bring ticket sales and things like that. You know what I mean? So once I realized the political side, once I got railroaded that one time for that, then it was like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I would never put myself in those positions again to fail because I knew the political side of it.
Yeah.
And the political side was, they go off of potential. They don't go off of accolades. So you might be an All-American and score a whole bunch of points in your school, but they might take this 7-foot wing no one has heard of because it's potential based.
Yeah, I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why some of those guys like Tyler Hansbrough didn't survive in the league. He had all the accolades, but he was undersized. He was a tweener, so potentially you didn't know what you was going to get out of him, or he might already hit a peak where you would take a Giannis and look at him, and he might can't dribble and chew gum at the same time, but he's 7 foot and he can move like a deer. I got to take a gamble on him because the rule of thumb is I can make him a better jump shooter. I can make him a better ball handler, but I can't teach athleticism.
Yeah.
Like, I can't teach somebody dunking playing over the rim, dunking. Like, I can't teach that. I can work on your balance. But let's be real. Either you got crazy athleticism or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'd rather teach athletic dude that bringing ticket sales how to shoot a jump shot and dribble and work on that because that's what's going to sell tickets.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense because I watch a lot of Australian basketball and Billy Billy Preston.
Who?
Billy Preston.
Yeah, Billy Preston.
Yeah, like he was like an athletic freak, right? But he came to Australia. He was one of the worst pros to ever come out. He lasted like a week and he got sent home straight away. But I feel like because he was so athletic, he kind of went under the radar a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So his skills didn't develop because he was always he could always pass off being athletic.
Yeah.
And
it catches up with you at the next level. It catch up with you because all those guys are just as athletic as you.
Yeah, exactly. Like he had the record for the most missed shots for a debut ever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but he was so good in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's just crazy how that works out.
Yeah.
But that's all the questions I have.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come talk to me.
It's sunny out there, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It was supposed to rain, but the weather looks nice.
What time is it out there?
It's 12:40, so it's about to be 1 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys about 4 hours ahead.
Yeah.
No, 4 hours behind. You guys are 4 hours behind.
But for us,
hold up. Sorry, you way more than 4 hours behind because you say 12.
But we're a day ahead, so it's.
Okay, about to say. Okay.
Yeah, it's the next day for us. So that's why I haven't been sleeping.
It's Wednesday right now?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the jet lag's hard to get over. Like when I first came, I was awake for like the first week.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, during hell month.
Yeah. How was that experience?
I mean, it was alright. Like I was getting like half an hour sleep a night, but I got through it. So like mentally, like if I get through that, I can get through anything.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's how I felt. Yeah.
We were telling the boys today. I was telling the boys I missed you today. We had a film session in the gym. I said I miss Luka. They was like, what? And we was watching. You had a little putback layup that you made.
Yeah.
In the game, we was watching Winston-Salem Christian. But yeah, man, the boys miss you, man, and you know, it was a blessing to have you. Hope you're able to come back and everything. Even the time that you've been here, you know, it's been a blessing, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity either way. Yeah. So your time at Moravian Prep, like, how is that different to any type of coaching experience you had before? Because I know a lot of people like don't realize that Moravian Prep is a lot different to what normal prep school is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. By far, I stamp it, man. Yeah. And a lot of people know, you know, I just don't stamp stuff like that. I don't sign my name off on it, man. But by far, Moravian Prep is 100% legit, man. He just set a culture. Coach Ellis, Jeremy Ellis, he set a culture and the standard, man. And I can attest to it, man. I realized being here, you know, the last 2 years, man, that I've learned a lot from him. For his foundation, business savvy, investing, never letting your money stay still. Like, I just learned so much, man, that I know I won't be able to get that anywhere else. Yeah. And then I never actually had like, I've had bosses, but I had a lot of bosses that were like dictators, and, you know, it's a difference from fear and respect. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah.
Coach Ellis, by far, man, has been, you know, one of the best directors that I have been under, that allows you to grow within yourself. At the same token, him grooming you. So he's still letting you grow. He's still letting you mature. He's not a dictator. You know, he allows his coaches to kind of run their program the way they want, and he step in and chime in if you have to. But, man, for as a support system, or for somebody that got your back, that's all you ask for in the coaching world, is somebody that has your back, that's going to stand up for you as a coach and as a mentor.
For sure.
Overall, man, and I can appreciate that, man. And I can say by far, man, I haven't had to chase no money down. I haven't had to do any of that. And I've been on some programs where I had to chase money down, where I had to spend money out of my own pocket, you know, out of my family's house, out of my family's mouths and stuff like that. So by far, man, this is, you know, Moravian Prep is 100% legit. It's a straight business. It's 100% legit. We changing kids' lives one bounce at a time, and you can't ask for a better situation and a better system that we are in right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a life-changing experience for me personally, because I feel like I grew a lot, like on the court, but like off the court as well. Like I feel like I matured and became a lot more independent, and that's testament to the program. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and that's good, because I remember you saying, you was telling me about the culture of the Aussie culture of you know, you kind of guys get sheltered to you about 24, 25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like.
Sure.
That's just how your guys operate. So for you coming down here to kind of get used to the American culture, because the American culture, you turn 18, you out the door, baby. You better go get you a job, or you better have something that you're getting ready to do. So it was, like I said, man, it's a blessing. And like I told the boys, I was so happy with this podcast that you're doing it, because you give a lot of other kids in the Aussie community, and some Americans, but you give the international kids opportunity to live their experience through you. So they kind of know what they're expecting before they even get to the States.
Yeah.
And that's solely off of your experience and off of you. So I applaud what you're doing. The boys said they chimed in on some of it and they loved it.
Yeah.
So, because everybody's stories and backgrounds are different.
For sure.
So it's definitely, you're on something good, man. I think you need to keep it up, man. Take it on the road with you. Everywhere you go, man, and keep it going, baby.
Yeah, I will. All right. Thanks, Coach. Like I said, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come talk to me.
Yes, sir. Make sure you tag me on the segment and whatever when you air it and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I will, for sure.
Okay. 10-4, brother. I'll see you soon.
All right, Coach. Stay safe.
Brother.
And good luck for the game tomorrow, too.
Yes, sir. See you soon, baby. Love you.
I will. All right, see ya.
Peace.
And now the first podcast of the Hoop Journey. Once again, big thanks to my coach, Coach Belt, for coming out. A lot of love and respect for that dude. All the best. Until next time, bye-bye.